order at 6:46 p.m., December 3rd, 2018. Begin the meeting with a polling site.
Order which was I call the Spirit of Council, all those who are serving in positions of authority and responsibility.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Vadenais, here. Mrs. O'Hara, here. Mr. Ogier,
Here.
Mr. Lawrence,
Present.
Mr. Vadenais.
Here. The next item is open forum pursuant to Public Law 42-46-6B. Is there anyone wishing to speak to the board tonight? No one's wishing to speak tonight? Move on to old business. Discussion by council vote or other action, an update from Municipal Building Review Task Force. Payment of invoice number 18017-5 from Saccoccio and Associates. It is the recommendation of the task force that invoice number 18017-5 for the amount of $2,995.20 be approved for payment. Is there a motion? So motion by Mrs. Zelinski, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara and Mrs. Martioli. Any discussion? Okay, vote.
Mrs. Vadenais.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara.
Yes.
Mr. Ogier.
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski.
Yes.
Mrs. Vadenais.
Yes. Just as an update to the council, the task force has met with the Historic District Commission to go over what we need to do to get a certificate of appropriateness. We did meet with them and we got their preliminary approval on the changes that we're making on the renovations. We're just waiting to get something in writing. And the last issue is, and I think we have to take this up at our next meeting, it would be my hope that we keep the same people on board with that task force. And because of the makeup of it, we may have to just revote who's sitting on that committee, but I'd like them all to the board to remain as is. Now with Mr. Bureau, I want from the board and you being on this board, we may have to just rearrange who the players are. But I'd like them all to remain in place 2 years into the process. I don't want to introduce them into this meeting. New business. Discussion by council vote or other action on renewal of lease for the Forestdale Schoolhouse. Mr. Ezovski.
I think this should be a rather routine matter. It's the same lease that we have had with the Heritage Association for, I don't know, 100 years ago. And it affords us the opportunity to have the interest of the volunteers, as well as to enable them to be able to pursue funding from multiple sources that Beth so eloquently described to us on Saturday evening, where the group has recently, or of late, has obtained well over $100,000 in funds. So I offer the lease for approval. It has been reviewed by the solicitor as well.
With the recommendation of the administrator, I entertain a motion.
Mr. President, make a motion to approve the continuance of the lease with the Forestdale Schoolhouse. Currently, to begin running January 1st, 2019 and through 2043. It's an every 5-year thing. But because of the cultural and historical value and nature of this and the expediency of it, I'd like the motion to also contain that the town administrator be the one to review and sign off on anything pertaining to the maintenance and operation of this property. Forestdale Schoolhouse, that's a motion.
The motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara.
Question.
On the discussion?
Is it more than 45 years, is that what you're saying?
It's a 25-year lease. It says 2043 in here, but it should, I think it should be, that's more than 20.
Mr. President, just, please make sure the Vice President's motion included authorization of the town administrator to sign.
Yes, I did mention that, yes. But it's for 5 years. It runs through 2043, so every 5
There
years.
used to be there used to be a 5-year lease, and now we're gonna give them a 25-year lease with the ability every 5 years to review it.
Yes.
Am I correct, Nick? Am I correct?
So there's two issues. One is, every 5 years, it's only the rent that's reviewed, but the real concern, just so the council is satisfied, is either party can terminate the lease with notice of, I'm not looking at the time, 90 days. So they need the security of a so-called 25-year lease to do what they need to do, but technically, you could give her 90 days, you could give them under them 90 days, and they can terminate.
Circumstances can change that we need to.
Right. Hopefully that will never happen because of the way they look at the house.
Right, and the power of the lease is to be able to obtain the funds. Were the lease to end, there'd be a risk that we have to return the funds.
So we have a motion to approve a 25-year lease between the town of North Smithfield and the North Smithfield Residents Association, with the town administrator authorized to sign the lease. We have a motion in a second. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Benoit?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Motion passes. Discussion by council vote or other action on a water bid for unleaded gasoline and diesel fuel. Mr. DeJesus is not here. Mr. Ezovski?
Sure. This is a typical circumstance of the use of master price agreements from the Atlanta Municipal Purchasing Agent Association. The details are provided in the packet. It is a better opportunity with a new vendor this year, Peterson Oil Service, as opposed to our current supplier. So we advocate the recommendation of the DPW director.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion for discussion, motion to approve by discussion.
Motion by Mrs. Zalinski to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Benoit. Discussion, Mrs. Zalinski.
Mr. President, I'm sure everybody read the additional charges, just to be cognizant of the fact that deliveries less than 2,500 gallons have an additional charge of 3 cents per gallon, and deliveries into emergency generators are less than 500 gallons have an additional charge of 25 cents per gallon. So just a heads up, I'm going to, this is true, it's been approved through the Rhode Island Municipal Purchasing Agency. Currently, the new company is going to be Peterson Oil Services.
Okay.
And we used to be, I won't mention the name, it's right here. But it's just the additional charges. I want to be certain that we don't incur any additional charges, because we may be giving away a competitive advantage on that.
Mr. Pendergast?
Hi, good evening. I just caught the tail end of that, so I apologize for that. Yes, we did look at that. It's, we're talking a very minimal amount of money. The problem we have with the 2,500 gallons is our tanks can only take a capacity of 3,600 gallons. With the school department and their buses, we can't go below 2,000 gallons or 2,500 gallons. So it's an issue we have to deal with. But when I looked at the numbers, it really wasn't a big number. It really wasn't with the competitive price that was put in. So,
Thanks, Rick.
good point.
Appreciate it.
So we'll be paying 5 cents over that.
Yes.
Any other discussion? So we have a motion and a second for approval to award gasoline and diesel fuel purchasing to Peterson Oil. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Oshia?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Oh, that was not hard.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on paving. Requisition number 4 for the Parkview Drive and Edward Ave Sewer Project. DeJesus?
Members of the council, we have before you a request for a total payment of $178,227.61. That has been reviewed and approved by the engineer that is managing the project for us, as well as the sewer commission, and I recommend payment. It represents payment for the work that has been completed to date. Well, actually, there's more work completed than is included in this requisition, but it is clearly completed to date as represented in the cost, and is following the unit prices that were bid in the project, bid and awarded in the project. We have a representative from the engineer and 2 members of the city commission also here for you if you have questions.
We have a recommendation from the administrator. A recommendation to payment number 4 for $178,227.61 to RPI and Shelley Sun Construction on the Edward Ave construction. Is there a motion?
Mr. President, I will make the motion based on the review with positive opinion of the Smithfield Sewer Commission,
Motion by
town
Mrs.
administrator, and the project engineer for the amount of $178,227.61.
Motion
Second
by
that motion.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara. On the discussion, do we know about how much more gathering there will be? Are they almost done with the project?
Well, the base program of work is virtually complete at this point, I suspect, including laterals. What hasn't happened is the additional work that was in the alternate that was for the extension of Edward Avenue. That plat has not been recorded as yet, and is waiting for approval from Rhode Island DEM wetlands. It is the process. The contractor has extended a cost commitment on that, and they hold their costs and be available to us to the spring. We fully expect to be able to award that to them once the plat is recorded. So it's not complete, but all of the work in running the sewer from the former end of the sewer line near Schoolhouse Hall through the park and all the way up Parkview, as well as Edward to the end of the existing housing is complete.
So the original contract, what we got right here is showing it's almost complete. Other than retained and a few other little incidents.
From a dollar standpoint, yes.
And then there is also an ad alternate on this to extend that.
And there will be a change order for adjustment of cost based on the actual quantities of rock, unsuitable materials, and the like that were encountered in the project. And they are substantial, regrettably. My office will be working diligently to find the best ways to be able to manage that cost as it is appropriated back to the users as best we possibly can. We have some ideas that with your approval, will be advanced as we go through this, to find ways to stay as close as we can to the original forecast to the users. Will it be increased? Probably. Will it be as much as the dollars might represent? I'm hoping not.
So there'll still be some change orders coming on this.
That's correct.
Good. So there's a motion and a second to approve the payment of $178,227.61. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Oshia?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Motion passes. Discussion by council vote or other action on town council rules of order. I ask this to be put on the agenda. Obviously, the council, we need to review our rules of order. I did not see anything that was really sticking out, but the one change that, oh, there's a couple, but the main change that I would like to make is number 14 under the order of business at every regular meeting with the council under approval of consent agenda. I would like to see the payment of bills removed from the consent agenda. I think that's something that, as a board, we should take up independently, and the number should be out there every meeting. It should just be a consent agenda. The reality is 80% of the time it probably comes out anyways. I would prefer to see payment of bills, not in the consent agenda, that we actually vote on the payment of bills and what the bills are paid as its own motion, standalone motion, as it used to be in the past.
Mr. President, if I may, I don't have a problem with that, if you want to add it to the rules, but normally, in the proceeding process of the sitting town council, if anybody had any exception or wish to remove it from the consent agenda, which was pretty much every meeting, we would go over it. So it's entirely, I'll support this, but there were safeguards in place.
Yeah, so I know it could be removed, but it was always removed, and I would just prefer to see it put in the consent agenda.
Okay, yeah.
That was one of them. 16A, where it talks about getting information to the clerk. I just want everyone to be aware that this stuff needs to be submitted to the clerk in a timely manner so that she can prepare these packets and get them to us so that there's no confusion. I just want everyone to be aware that there's a timeline to getting information to the clerk.
May I, Mr. President, 16A?
Mhm.
Prior to, as you're aware, the council president would set the agenda with the town clerk. And I could be a little fuzzy on this one, but if a council member, used to say 2 council members could add something to agenda, and I was just saying that an individual council member can add an item to the agenda. Okay, I'm liking it. Just wanted to make sure.
All I do is review the agenda. I don't actually set the agenda. I just go over it with the town clerk.
Okay.
But I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of that. And then on number 18, where it talks about our obligation to read the information, and then it says, if you have any questions, and I just want to reiterate what the administrator sent to us today, that it would be my preference that if any of us have an issue and we have a question or whatever, then it goes to the administrator's office. To me, it's the right protocol to follow. It sets a good example as we go forward. That we're not, like the administrator said, we're not 3 different people are talking to one department head. It's all going through the administrator. They actually work for him. They don't work for us. And so, as our role, that's not our role to go into the department heads. It would be my preference to see if anyone has any questions that they go through the administrator. It could just be a simple courtesy call. I'd like to talk to this person about this issue. He can easily grant it, or he can say, well, I'll meet with you, we'll go over it, or whatever the issue is. Just follow it, a nice chain of command, and I think it's gonna help us all out. And the last item was number 27, where any meetings, public hearings, or workshops, recess no later than 10 p.m. unless there's a majority vote. Now, with my understanding that it only took 1 negative vote to end the meeting at 10 o'clock. Is that what's in place today?
Yes, yes. So it would have to be a vote of 5 to continue. However, as it had been addressed in the past, Mr. President, if a member had a time constraint where they had to be somewhere, family obligations or something, they would just step away, recuse themselves, and let it be a 4-0 vote to continue in half-hour increments. However, if a member of the town council said, no, I don't want to extend, then that was the end of the meeting. So we have to make cognizant of that also.
I'd rather go back and have a majority rule on it than have one person be able to say, the meeting is over.
Agreed. Yeah,
That's just, I mean, the reality is, it takes how long it takes us to take care of the business of the town, where we don't want to be here till midnight, no, but it shouldn't take one person to say, no, I'm not extending the meeting and we're done. So, what I have written in front of me, it says it's a majority vote of the council. And I prefer, if that's what we're gonna do, then that's what we leave it at, the majority of the council. I don't know if do I need to make those as motions, Dave, to make those
Yeah,
changes?
I don't have the copy of the yellow version that everybody does. Are the yellow version copies that before you submitted by you, Mr. President?
No, I got those from the town clerk. I asked the town clerk to
To make
provide
those
me.
changes?
I didn't make any changes to it. I'm just, I didn't make any changes to it. The town clerk sent me a copy of what she had on file.
So I would make them separately only because I don't have a copy of that yellow version. If you want, Mr. Attorney, is it every change that's in yellow that you're making, Mr. President?
No, I think those were changes that were previously made. So I guess I'd make a motion that, I would make a motion that on number 14 under our rules of order, that payment of bills be removed under item D, payment of bills be removed from the consent agenda and be listed as its own standalone item at the regular meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bonioli. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara? Yes. Mr. Oshia?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. The other item, we're not changing anything on 16 that we talked about. I just wanted everyone to be aware of it. The same with 18. And then on number 27, right now it currently says majority vote of the council, so I'm going to make a motion that it remain as a majority vote of the council.
That's why, that's the one that concerned me. I thought it was unanimous, that's why I was confused. But it's majority will change unless.
It had been, yeah.
So then it would be